Hello, lovelies. Hello out there. I'm just, I got the husband over here adjusting the lighting for me just to play around and see if it's better one way or another. Oh, we learn as we go, learn as we grow. Happy Sunday. Thank you for being here. Those of you that are here live, always a pleasure to be in your energy. I am Kyla Givehand, and today I am continuing my ABCs of Me series, where I am talking about all things in my world, all the things, literally all of the things. Um, so I want to encourage you, if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel. That way you can get the updates, you can see all the things that are happening here. I am attempting to reconnect to my YouTube channel and community over here. So lots of things. Every day I'm doing a live stream. My goal today is 90 minutes. I know I said that yesterday and the day before and the day before and the day before. Da, 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 da. Here we are. I am going to do my very best to move through all the things quickly. And for those of you who are here live, thank you. I did not get to pre-scheduled this one as soon as I had hoped. So maybe we'll have just a few of us here today. I am happy to just speak to one person or to just talk out into the abyss, whatever happens. I'm just here to show up, and whoever shows up with me, welcome, glad you're here. So what I want to do is talk about today's letter G. And so today I'm going to be talking about things that start with the letter G. One of them is jelly plate printing, gelatin plate printing, gel plate printing. So I'm actually going to take this whole stack and I'm going to move it off to the side because I'm also going to talk about some other things today. And so we're going to come back to the jelly plate printing. And actually, we're going to start the way I've been trying to start by pulling a card. And the deck that I want to work with today, I was trying to think, do I have a deck that starts with the letter G? I was trying to think of ways I could kind of do that. So I thought a goddess deck might be a good deck. Hi, Suzanne. Yay. Glad you're here. So I'm going to grab a goddess deck because that feels like a good deck to start with. So I'm going to grab one. Oh. And I'm actually going to use one that is a little different from a traditional goddess deck. I reached for this one first, but then I was like, something about this one felt better. So I am going to pull a card from this one. And She Who is the English translation. And someone said to me that it's Eliqui, maybe. Don't quote that, y'all. Don't quote that. So this is the one we're going to pull from today. She Who is the English translation. And so just go, what card wants to join us today? What energy wants to join us? And this will be like a little pull for the collective. All of you watching on the replay as well. Hi, Damon. I see you there in the chat. Boom. Ooh, I like that. She, some days the universe sends you messages in all the best ways. So I did have a wavering moment this morning where I was like, should I keep doing this whole ABCs of Me thing? I don't know. Then I get this card today. She Who Remains. Manatili. Powerful. Devotion. True worth. Do I need to say more about that? I don't think I do. I'm loving this little snow cat leopard looking creature there. That's pretty awesome. And yeah, just loving. I know people might look at that and go, okay, Ice Queen. No, what I see is something completely different. Look at this fiery hair. Come on, that's awesome. Ideas on fire, mind on fire. Also, the word devotion. Just stay true. Just remain. Keep showing up. Powerful. Be devoted to this. So I'm going to take that as my sort of message for today. I invite you to find what feels like it's for you in this card. What do you need to ask yourself or bring your awareness to around remaining powerful, remaining devoted, and remaining true to your worth? Maybe there's something there for you. All right, friends, as I tend to do, I'm going to leave that card out as I work today. Put the rest back. Now, this deck does come with a guidebook. I don't tend to go to guidebooks. I tend to read cards very intuitively, but the guidebook is there. I like the fact that someone took their time to write it. So we'll just check in with it and see. She sits on a crystal throne. Oh, I love it even more. Not crystal, not ice, but crystals. Yes, absolutely. Lots of beautiful selenite looking, crystal quartz looking pieces there with her lynx. That's a lynx, not a snow leopard. But here's the thing. What I saw there is ice and snow leopard. So that message is for me. I'm not going to discount that. Her gown shows her connection to the ice dragon. Her truth of self keeps her warm against the icy stares of naysayers. Hello, hello. It's talking right to me. And her gaze is cool as she surveys her snow-covered kingdom. Many of her subjects have left the wintry wilderness for less austere places. At any time, she too could have left her kingdom for other realms, but she is devoted to the ideals her reign represents. Her rule may seem like a lonely one to some, but not to her. She knows how powerful a single person can be. We just talked about this today in community. In my Pope and Paint community, Damon and I are teaching a framework that we created called the 12 Radical Intentions. And in that framework, one of the 12 is community. And today we talked about how a community is only as strong as its members. And so your individual power is absolutely important because if you are a part of something bigger, your individualism actually adds to the fabric and the strengthening of that. So you can't make this stuff up. This card's lesson is to stay true to your purpose even when others do not support you. I almost want to close the book and put it down. I don't need to read another word. I have been dealing with this. Ooh-wee. Okay. Your true worth is not measured by the number of people who agree with you. People will come and go from your life, but have faith that you have the power to attract those who appreciate your gifts. Remember the lesson of this lady. Love yourself first and best. Those who remain by your side will be worthy of your affection. Your true worth is yours alone. I needed that today. Y'all don't even understand. I needed that today. Okay. So many good nuggets in that for me. I will return to it later tonight for my end of the day journaling that I do. And wow. That's all I got to say. Wow. I needed it. I love it. Suzanne, you have that deck? Oh, yeah. Go check out that card. It's a good one. And yeah, just what's written in there about it since you have it. Okay, loves. I want to go next to questions that I've gotten between the last time I did questions, I think was on day D. So I got some questions on day E and yesterday F. Today is letter G. G. For those of you who know sign language. And so going all the way back, let's see. I have these questions copy and pasted so I don't lose them. All right, so the first question was, Kyla, I'm so shocked that you didn't mention Coptic journals on letter C day. What gives? And then they put in parentheses, pun intended, your last name is Givehand. I love y'all so much. Okay, so I read that and I was like, let me pull out some Coptic journals because yeah, that person's right. Let's do it. All right, so Coptic stitch is actually, it used to be my go-to. I know that I said my now go-to is the French link. And that's because French link is just so fast and so easy, and you don't have to be as careful. You can just stitch away. But Coptic used to be my go-to, y'all. I mean, I have made so many Coptic journals. It's ridiculous. This is one that I did. This was a double needle with a fancy stitch, 2 different colors and everything. I really played around with the double needle, and that one was done. Oh, I have to tell you about this. This book I did in when I was at Mills, and it is filled with paper that is probably not the best paper in the world. And when I showed it to my instructor, because I had to do this one for a grade. Forget about this camera. So I had to do this one for a grade. This was a graded assignment. We were being graded on our Coptic stitching, but we were also being graded on the design we created for our spine, and we were being graded on the use of 2 needles and our, all the things. I didn't think we were being graded on the paper that we used. So I chose some really almost like a newsprint type paper and bound this. And I love this journal. The outside is some Japanese paper that I got, and I did a embossed initialing there, my initials. And so this is actually one of my favorites. I'm probably going to use it at some point one day. We'll see. Right now, I kind of just keep it on my shelf as a blank one. This was one that I taught and made during the black and white journal class that I ran back in 2017, maybe, black and white journal. I should bring that class back. That was a fun class. I really enjoyed that class. Can't remember if there's anything in here. Oh, haha, yeah. So that was another Coptic. This one was multiple stitches, but it was intended to be this alternating black white thing. I almost wish I had done a double needle on this one, because then you would see the black white alternating of the thread. That would have been cool, but I didn't think of it in advance. And then here's a Coptic. Let's see, I got a couple more on my desk. Here's one that I did. I actually think I did this one during an Artsy meetup years ago, a couple years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And I had a little thing. I had punched a hole here to do a ribbon closure, and I keep changing my mind about what ribbon I want to use. So it actually goes to the back here. So yeah, and it's full of watercolor paper, but there's that. And I had a little glitchy boo here. You can see it. And that's the thing about a Coptic. It's very unforgiving with mistakes. Your mistakes stand out on a Coptic binding. So you can see, right, that something happened, probably ripped I either skipped a hole, or I said, who knows what I did right here. I'll have to look a little closer to dissect that. But right, that's the thing. Coptic is unforgiving. No forgiveness on a Coptic. This was actually a journal that I made. It was going to be a gift to my mother-in-law, and I brought it home to gift to her, and she passed away that same weekend. And so I never did get to give it to her. And part of me is afraid to use it. I don't know. I think I'm waiting for some really special occasion to use it. I don't know. But every time I touch it, every time I look at it, I feel this deep connection to her. And I think she would have loved it. Yeah, I know she would have loved this. So one day I am going to actually use it. I just haven't. It has white paper with black signature wraps. And I made this in, what year was that, Damon? 20, I can't remember in this moment. But it was the same year that Mama G passed. And so, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll use it at some point. I'm not sure, but I like specially picked this paper out for her. Like it was a whole thing. And I was trying to like surprise her with it. And yeah, so I treasure it. Um, yeah, she would have loved it. Into 2009. So yeah, I did this one in 2009. And I did white paper on the inside with black signature wraps around each one. And yeah, so okay, I'm gonna get all sentimental and gushy here. Love you, Mama G. Okay, so that is that. All right, so those are some of my Coptic journals. I have tons more, but we don't need to see the whole lot of them, do we? We don't. We do not. The other question that I got was about French links. Can French link books have a hard cover? If you have any, please show. And I do, and I think I can just show one, and that's probably enough. So here's the French link. This one has signature wraps with lots of different colors on it. It's not a very good signature French link. Look at that. It's real movie, shaky. But that's fine. It still does the job. So yes, this is actually bookboard covered with Craft-Tex. And I did this. This is oh, my intentions, let's see. Oh, this is going to be for watercolor. I think I started, but haven't really gotten far with this. But I've signed up recently for some watercolor classes that I'm looking forward to, so I'll use them for that. But this is a French link. So the back I covered with just canvas, raw canvas. The front is covered with Craft-Tex, brown Craft-Tex. So yes, you can make a French link book with a hardcover. You absolutely can. And then that same person who asked about the hardcover said, I'm used to seeing French link books with fabric or paper through the threads. And what they're talking about is this. Those of you who were in my, who took Make, Create, Express in 2022, this was the class that I taught. I taught how to make this journal. And it does have, so it's still a French link stitch, but I used pieces of, you know how we have muslin that we use to clean up paint on our desk, on our table. I just ripped strips of that and used as my fabric. So yes, I don't even want to say traditionally because that might be a little misleading. Oftentimes, French link stitch can be, what's the word? Strengthened or reinforced is the word I want. Reinforced by using fabric strips, something thin, something light. You don't want to go with like a heavy cotton or anything like that, but I like to use like a thin muslin. You want something thicker than cheesecloth, but thinner than upholstery fabric, right? Like, so something in between there. I find that muslin, a really lightweight muslin that has been painted or has paint on it, is a really good addition. So yes, you can use fabric to reinforce, and also you do not have to. Right, here's another one that I did that does not have fabric going through. So yeah. Okay, I think that answers the questions about those two, the French link and the Coptic. Let me move them off my table here. Okay, a couple more questions I got. One was about the flag book, and I kept confusing and saying flag and fan, flag book, fan book, flag book, fan book. They are different, friends. So the fan book is the one that fans out, right? You can put a post on it and fan it out. The flag book, I showed you a version of a flag book that isn't the traditional flag book. So I went digging last night after I saw that question and found a traditional flag book to show you. So this is one I did in Book in a Day 2013, book number 38. So it was towards the end of Book in a Day 2013. But this is what flag books do. Right? So they do this thing where you've got these alternating pieces. So traditionally, this is a really great, gosh, I keep using the word traditionally a lot. I need to think about that some. Oftentimes, flag books are used by photographers because they will take a photograph. And so let me just give you an idea. So everything you see on the back was one piece of paper that I cut down to the right size to make my flag book, so that when I open this up, what you're kind of seeing is a pattern that goes together. Everything on this side also would have been that. So a lot of photographers will use this as an artist book format because you can get a really cool effect when it's standing up. It has this sort of crisscross thing that it's doing. So it's meant to be a display book, and it's a pretty neat little effect that you get. So a lot of times photographers will use it, and they'll print like multiple copies of their photography of a print of a photo, and then they will cut it just so that if you were laying these down on themselves, you would see the full image, right? So, okay, that's a flag book. Different from a fan book, just to be clear. All right. I think that's it in this moment for that stuff. I'm just going to move some stuff off my table. I'm just looking around because I feel like there was one other thing. Oh, how about this? Let's see, where am I doing on time? Okay, trying to be mindful of time. When I got off the call, when I got off the live on Friday, y'all, my days are so mixed up. Let me start over. When I ended the live session yesterday, day F, letter F, I realized as I was putting things away and moving things around, and I was like, I have to find that one pen that I wanted to show them, and blah, 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 blah. I realized, so I did find where the pen is, and I'm going to bring it out and show it to you in a moment. But I also found some pens that I haven't opened yet. So I was like, this is classic for me. I will buy a pen. It'll come in. I'll go, oh, I'm going to do an unboxing. And then a week goes by, 2 weeks go by, 3 weeks go by, 2 months go by. And then I'm like, oh, and then I find the box. So when did this come to me? I have had this box since February, February of this year, that I haven't opened. Yes, Suzanne. I love it. 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 Suzanne says, it's like a present you forgot you had. And it's funny because this was like my birthday gift to myself. My birthday was in January, and I bought myself this little gift in February, and then never opened it. So you all are going to get to see me open it here. But before I do that, I'm going to grab, there was one other pen I said I was going to show you also. Give me 1 second. Grab yourself some water, tea, coffee. I'll be right back. Hold on. All right, friends, that was a bust. I thought I had, the one I wanted to show you out, and now I'm like, what did I do with it? Where did I put it? Oh, crazy pants lady. I know what I did. Hold, please. I call myself being clever. I'm like, I know exactly where I'm going to put it so I can grab it quickly, blah, blah, blah. So I just want to pause and say hello, Stephanie. Thank you for being here. Hi, Roseanne. Welcome back. Okay, so yesterday I was showing you all these amazing, cool, beautiful Lamy pens, and I was like, I have a clear one to show you, and I can't remember where it is. So I remembered that I had a whole bunch of Lamys in this little amazing pen case. This is by Knock Co. And I'm pretty sure this company's still around. They make amazing pen cases. I love them. This is one that I think it just has such a cool, neat concept, right? It rolls up. All the pens go back in there. Protect it. When you want to use them, you roll them out. You have the whole thing. I love it. So this is, all of these are Lamys, by the way. This is the Vista that I was talking about, the Lamy Vista. It's the demonstrator. It's the clear one. And I don't care what anybody tells you, this pen, in my opinion, writes differently than the ones that have color. I can't explain it. It's just how it feels to me. But this is a clear demonstrator Lamy Safari. So I can't really call it a Safari. It's in the same vein as a Safari, but they actually call it the Lamy Vista. So there's that one. And then I had mentioned to you about the Smurf, the Papa Smurf or the Smurf version. This is one. It has the blue body, light blue body with the red cap. And I think I might have changed this nib out. I can't remember if it came with a black nib or not. So I just wanted to come back and show those. Some of the pastel colors they have as well. And then this all teal. I can't remember the name. I want to say Aqua, but I think the other one's called Aqua, so I don't know. I can't remember the name of this one. I should do better. If I'm going to be a collector, I should be able to name these names off the top of my head. So those are they. And then if I'm remembering correctly, what we are about to open here from February is the 2024, or maybe it was the end of 2023, the limited edition from 2023 Safaris that I never opened. So let's open them now. And then I am going to move on to G things, I promise. Y'all know I always save this little paper, right? You know I do. You know I do. Oh, it came with a little pen case. I like it. So this is one of my favorite little companies to buy from. It is Pen Chalet. They're cool folks. Trying to remember see which Lamy this is. Okay, so these are the, oh, it doesn't tell me what year. I think it's the 2023 special editions. Remember I told you they sometimes come out with 2 at a time. Let's see if it tells me what year. It does not. I'm sure one of them has to be a purple, because I don't think they would send you a purple. Ooh, I like that. That's so bad that I don't remember. Oh, yes, they did a whole thing with the double colors. Okay. So that's one. That one is called Pink Cliff. Pink Cliff. This one, there's the purple. I knew there was going to be a purple somewhere. I think this is called Blackberry. Let's see. Yep, Blackberry. Violet Blackberry. Different color. Grips. I like that. Okay, I have 2 new pens to play with. Okay, really I have several because I haven't inked Lamys in a minute. So I'm going to have to put my Lamys in rotation. I'm digging those too. Little pen sleeve. Awesome. Thank you all for indulging me and letting me open my birthday gift 3 months later. Oh, goodness. I'm going to get it together one day. Well, who am I kidding? Probably not. I'm probably going to keep doing that where I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm going to unbox them. And then I never do until moments like this. Okay. So 2 new fun pens to play with. All right. So today, the other thing I want to talk about. So let's shift to letter G. We went back and looked at letter C and some letter F stuff. Let's go ahead to today, letter G. So the things I have on my letter G list for today are glue, green smoothies, grits. I'm gonna circle back to the grits. Y'all are gonna get a kick out of that. And I had written a whole little thing. Let's see what I do with my list here. That might have been it for today. Just a few things. In fact, I feel like there was one other thing, but my brain is not catching on to it in this moment. So, oh, jelly plate printing. Y'all, try not to laugh too hard at me. I started with the words jelly plate printing, and here I am going, what was that other thing? What was that other thing again? Oh, yes, we will circle back to all the brain stuff that happens when we get to letter M for menopause. We're going to talk about that some more when we get there. We're not there yet, but we're getting there. So before I do that, I want to talk about glue. Let's talk about glue, y'all. Glue sticks. I'm going to talk about this glue here. I'm going to bring up some of my glues that I like to talk about and share some things about them with you. I could have done glue sticks and gluey things during letter day A, adhesives, right? But I'm trying to space things out over the month, so I have things to talk about. I'm looking, hold on. Let's talk about PVA. Let's talk about this craziness here. Mod Podge. Yes, paste. Soft gel. Here, let me do this. Let me just show you all what I'm doing here. All right, I'm pulling things out of this container where I keep all the overflow. Why do you have overflow, Kiala? I have overflow because I am a teaching artist. When I travel to teach, I have to have extras for my students, and so I have lots of this stuff. So let's start with PVA, all right? Because PVA is my go-to for fine bookbinding. I don't use PVA in my everyday bookbinding. And the reason is, it's not the cheapest adhesive on the market. And so when I'm just making like a junk journal, I'm definitely not going to be using my PVA. When I'm making a journal that's a prototype, not going to be using my PVA. I'm going to use glue stick, Fabri-Tac, Fabri-Fix, matte medium, the stuff that is like easily accessible and doesn't like cost a lot. But when I'm making a book that I'm going to sell to someone, or a book that is more of an artist book, I will use PVA. Or if I'm making something that I want to be archival, I'll use PVA. So PVA, what makes it archival is it's a neutral pH. Also, it stays flexible, it dries clear. These are all things that bookbinders care about. Let me say that. These are things that book artists care about, right? And I do make a distinction between someone who is a book artist and someone who is a bookbinder. And I know that people can call themselves whatever they want to call themselves. I'm not questioning that. I'm just saying that I make a distinction. To me, a book artist is someone who is working with archival quality, top of the line paper. They are bringing their art into a book form. So a lot of times And they are exploring form and function. They are looking at things like making one of a kinds, but also making books in addition. There's a lot of things that I consider to be book artists versus a book binder. And there is a distinction to me. Again, my personal definition and distinction, but also I would think people in the book binding world would probably agree with me to some extent. So I just want to name that because when I say book artist, I'm making a distinction between a book binder. I consider myself both, but I am primarily a book binder because most of the books I make are for me. And when I'm selling books, I'm usually making books that are blank. A book artist rarely makes a blank book. They are usually putting something in them that constitutes the art. And so lots of little distinctions we could make, and we could probably sit and talk about that for, over a nice meal or something one day. So PVA is really great. The thing to keep in mind about PVA is it is what I consider a wet glue, and not what most people would consider a wet glue. Meaning, if you are putting it on book board, for instance, you're going to want to put that project under weight until it dries completely, because if you don't, the wetter the glue, the longer the drying time. The longer the drying time, the more likelihood of warpage. Is that a word? Warpage? We're going to make it a word if it's not. So if you're like making things and you're using PVA and you're like, my stuff is always wonky and cattywampus and I don't know what's happening, I would say, obviously, look at paper grain. That's going to matter. But also, what kind of glue are you using? If you're using a glue that is a wet glue, you need to give it time to dry. Underweight. Put books on top of it. If you have a book press, put it under that. Whatever your thing is. Okay. So PVA is my go-to when I'm making books that I need to be mindful of archival quality, the pH in it. Is it going to break down the paper? That kind of thing. I don't have a true Fabrifix in this moment. Do I? Hold on. Maybe I do. Well, I can't find my bottle, so we'll just use this for now. Beacon products. They make a Fabrifix, a Fabri-Tac, and a 3-in-1. And now this new stretch Fabri-Tac, which I have feelings about. So the difference in Fabri-Tac and Fabrifix is where you buy it from. I think at Hobby Lobby it's called Fabri-Tac, and at Michael's and our Joann is called Fabrifix, something like that. So the name seems to be different depending on where you buy it from. At least that has been my experience. They are pretty much the same product. The Beacon 3-in-1, I believe, is also the same product. I think the difference is Beacon 3-in-1 is marketed to crafters in general. Fabri-Tac and Fabrifix are marketed to people who use fabric. I really think that's the general difference. Let's talk about this new stretch Fabri-Tac for a moment here. Yep. What I want to say about it is it stinks. It smells to the high heavens. It is a stinky, stinky glue. Okay. It says permanent, strong hold, washable. It's flexible. It's for, to be used with stretchable fabrics, knits, t-shirts, dancewear, and more. Okay. So I get that. I read that and I'm like, okay, I use a lot of fabrics in my work and I should have, okay. Holy smokes, this stuff stinks. Like so much so that I used a little bit. Damon walked in the room like an hour later and was like, oh God, what does that chemically smell? I'm like, that's the Beacon Fabri-Tac stretch. So just a warning, if you decide you want to run out and get this, please don't say I didn't warn you. It stinks. It smells worse than the ever famous Mod Podge. Now, this happens to be the super gloss version of Mod Podge. I personally don't have an issue with how Mod Podge smells. I have an issue with the fact that it seems like it never dries. And I've always thought that's because I'm in Florida, humidity. But even when I lived in Oakland, no humidity, still never dries. So I don't know. Me and Mod Podge, not really friends. This particular one is a super gloss, and so I needed it for a particular project, a book I was working on that needed to have like a glossy, high gloss finish. So I used this for that. But I mean, it might be glued shut. I haven't opened it in so long. So Mod Podge, I don't use it for book projects. I don't use it for things because it feels like it never dries. I definitely don't use it if I'm making collage because the surface just seems like it stays sticky forever. Those of you that are here that use Mod Podge, please say in the chat for me, is that your experience as well? I would love to hear. So we got Mod Podge over there. People give Elmer's glue a bad rap. People in the art community and the crafting community. But I'm going to say this. Don't sleep on Elmer's glue all. It's actually still a good glue. Now, there is a difference between regular Elmer's and see these three little words here? Extra strong formula. Get you some that says extra strong formula. Completely different than regular glue that we would get in school when we were kids. Regular Elmer's. This is for household repairs, craft projects, and more. It says that right on the bottle. So it's actually different than regular Elmer's glue. So look for those three words in orange, extra strong formula, or red, whatever color that is. Okay. Also, I love Elmer's glue for resist. Take it on your paper, make all sorts of whatever, put it to the side for a day or two, let it dry completely, fully 100%. Come back in with watercolors, gouache, fluid acrylics. Oh my gosh, thank me later. So good. So I love it. It is a wet glue though, right? So anything that's a wet glue takes time to dry. So I don't use it for bookbinding projects where I'm trying to bind a book using it, but I use it for other things. And it's really good. And I think it's good for collage as well. I didn't say this about Mod Podge, but Mod Podge I also would classify as a wet glue. Beacon 3-in-1, Fabri-Tac, Fabri-Fix, that stretchy stuff over there. I consider those to be quick grab, quick dry glues, except that stretchy one. Doesn't seem like it dries fast to me. And so far, that has not been my experience. But the Fabri-Fix and the Fabri-Tac, they are quick grab, quick dry glues. Different category than the wet glue. So when you want to just glue something down, smooth it out, and move on to the next thing, you want a quick grab, fast grab glue. Okay? Quick grab, quick dry glue. This has become my new friend. I've had this glue for a while. I've ignored it. I've denied it. I've not given it any time or energy. And what I realize is this is actually not a bad glue. Scotch Create Permanent Tacky Glue. It's actually not bad. It also says it's photo safe. So those of you who mount your photographs, all of our photographers out there, apparently this is safe for y'all to use on your photos. But what I have found is it doesn't advertise itself as quick grab, fast drying. I wouldn't say that it's fast drying, but it becomes tacky really quickly. Like as soon as I put it down, within minutes, within seconds, really, not even minutes, within a minute, it's already starting to get tacky. So to me, that's a quicker drying glue. But apparently it's not fully dry. Let me see what it says. Bonds paper to paper in less than 1 minute. Clean up with soap and water, blah, blah, blah. So what I have found is with fabric things, it doesn't dry in that 1 minute period, but it grabs it quick. So get yourself some of that. Try it. I'm liking it so far. I will actually be buying more of it. This is the only bottle I have, but I will be buying more of that because I like it a lot. We are friends now. Everybody knows the matte medium. So you have your matte medium. And this one is a fluid matte medium. So it's a little, you hear it? It's a little wetter than say something like a gel medium that comes in more like this kind of container that has more tooth to it, more stickiness, more girth to it. I'm going to use that word just because, yeah. So you have those. Make sure you check, right? There's a matte medium and there's a gloss medium. They're different. What's different about them? How they dry. What happens at the end when they dry. So if you have never attended a golden product demonstration, I invite you to look around your area, find one. If you live anywhere near a Blick, a Jerry's Artarama, any of the like big box sort of stores, not big box in terms of like Hobby Lobby, but like the Flax, Dick Blick, Jerry's Artarama, and there's a fourth one whose name is not coming to me in this moment, but sometimes they'll have demonstrations from Golden and Golden artists. So I went to a demo once where this lady demoed all the different all the different mediums that they have: fiber paste, modeling paste, coarse modeling paste, all the different gel mediums like the soft gel, the heavy gel, all the things. And I never knew that some of the stuff that this stuff can do. Like not just this bottle, but all the ones. The fiber paste, and when you go, you get all these little bottles of things they give you. Oh, here's the other original Mod Podge matte, just to show that. Even there, this is Liquitex, but so let me stay with golden. Hold please. Here's another golden matte medium. Oh, the clear tar gel. Oh my gosh, this stuff is crazy pants what it can do. So I know I'm straying a little bit from glue, but I'm showing you all these because we use these as glue and adhesive, but they actually have other functions as well in the art world. So I just want to name that. So while we use them as glue and adhesives, they actually have other lives. One moment, I'm looking for something here. Okay, so last but not least, I've showed those, so that's probably good for that. Showed you that. I'm just going to put away the things I showed already so that I can keep myself organized here. Not have 1,001 things on my table. This glue, I can't have to say a little something about this glue. This is art glitter glue. And I stayed away from this forever because I was like, oh, I hate glitter. I don't want to do nothing that has to do with glitter. Ugh. Okay, so that's just the brand name. It doesn't actually have glitter in it, y'all. And it's actually a really good glue. It's permanent, it's water-based, it's non-toxic, dries clear. It's not a fast drying, but it is a wet glue. Like to me, a wet glue is if I can shake it and hear it, it's a wet glue. So it needs to go under weight if you're using it in your bookbinding projects to keep you from having things warp all over the place on you. I mentioned to you all the other day about diamond glaze adhesive. I showed you a domino that was very shiny. I use this for it. This stuff is really interesting because it's mixable, meaning you can color it. You can tint it. Okay. So this bottle's old. I've had it for a while. Don't even know if it would still work, but diamond glaze. Also, I've had it so long that I'm like, do they still sell this? I don't know. They might. But it's a good one. It is, for me, diamond glaze is for adhesive, for glue that is going to be seen. I would never put a diamond glaze glue and then cover it up with a piece of paper, right? It's meant for dimensional and visible gluing. Okay, so there's that. And it leaves a like diamond-like glaze on the top, hence the name. It is very similar to glossy accents, which is also a dimensional clear adhesive, but it's really meant for the top of things. It's meant to be seen. Okay. Also, see how I have a little reminder to myself? Do not shake. Do not shake this. Don't shake it. It creates air bubbles inside of the bottle when you shake it. What else do I have here that I want to show you? Should I show the art glitter glue? Let me put that back. So many things. All right, the last one I'll show. No, I have two. Or maybe more. If you work with leather, and I'll be talking more about leather books and things like that on Letter Day L. But if you work with leather, get yourself a good leather glue. It does matter. It is different. Can you use the Fabrifix Fabri-Tac for leather? Absolutely. But again, this is for those of you who are like, this is my craft. I'm a student of my craft. I say get you leather glue if you're using leather for things. Okay. It does make a bit of a difference. It's not major, but it can matter in certain projects. All right, here's a glue that I've not tried yet because I haven't even opened it. This is by the same people who make tacky glue, which is an Eileen's product. And yeah, so I got it because I think that this might be similar to E9000, 6000, E6000. I think. Don't quote that though. But it says it's perfect for any surface. And then it lists some things. It says it's an instant grab, sets in seconds, fast drying, dries clear, acid free. So I haven't used it yet. It says it's waterproof, dries in minutes. So I don't know. Anybody out there? Have you used it? Have you used it? Do you like it? What do you think? It's in my stash to try one day. All right. I'm going to check the chat here. I've been talking for a minute, so let me check the chat. Roseanne, yeah, that blackberry lamy. Whew, yummy. There's probably some still out there in the world somewhere. They don't always sell out. Sometimes they do. Certain colors, they only make, the special editions are also limited editions. Like they don't make as many of those as their like regular production colors. So, but sometimes you can find one here or there. Let's see. Yep, Suzanne says she finds Mod Podge to be tacky too. I'm thinking that's what she was talking about. Stephanie says, I haven't had a problem with my glittery Mod Podge, but I do always gently stir it before use, per the directions. Very nice. Suzanne says, I have not tried the clear tar gel. Yeah, go to Golden's website. Look at the clear. They have lots of like little videos and stuff. They might even have a YouTube channel. Don't know why I've never thought of that. Never went to a Golden YouTube channel, but there's probably something that shows you what that clear tar gel can do. Your mind will be amazed. At least mine was. I can't speak. You might be like, oh, that's nothing. Seen that. Been there, done that. Okay. So let's talk glue sticks for a moment and then we'll shift to jelly beans. All right. So this is my absolute favorite glue stick on the planet. It is by Pioneer. It's a photo glue stick made for photographers, by photographers, I want to say, but definitely for photography. I like this particular, I pulled this one out because I have a round one somewhere that it comes in a round version. But I grabbed this one specifically because I love it in the square because it doesn't roll all over your table. If you all haven't noticed, I had something sitting here in well, this one has these little ridges, but things that don't have ridges on it tend to roll on my table for some reason. Just not level, probably. So I like this one because it doesn't roll. But what I really love about this Pioneer one is that it works really well for soul collage. So it was introduced to me through the soul collage community. And most soul collagers, tried and true, hardcore, old school soul collagers, use this brand because it works really well on magazine images, right? So a lot of times I will find that something like this cheapo Office Depot glue stick doesn't work very well on magazine images. It just doesn't. So this one is one that works really well. I love the square because you also can get into those corners really, really good, really well. So this is my favorite brand. Pioneer glue sticks are my favorite by far, hands down, no questions asked. Fast forward to my least favorite. I don't like Yoo-Hoo. I know everybody else on the planet loves, all the mixed media people rave about it, on and on and on and on and on. It's a glue stick. I mean, I like it better than the Office Depot one, but pretty much about the same. Not to me. Now, I think what I don't really like about this is that it is soft. That's the best way I can describe it. It's just so gooey soft. And so I'm an overgluer. I already know this about myself. So I'm like really pressing when I glue. This stuff is so soft, it just oozes everywhere. I can't stand it. So I use it because I have it. And I'm gonna finish this one up, but I don't intentionally go out and buy Yoo-Hoo glue sticks. Okay. This one probably was given to me at a workshop I attended or something. Like I just don't, they're not my favorites. Okay, so a lovely member of my community gifted me a set of Pritt sticks. Pritt sticks are not a US thing. Hi, Ellen, by the way. Thank you. You were the person who sent this to me. I don't think she's here live, but I'm shouting her out just in case she watches this. Thank you for sending me these. She actually, I don't think she sent me the white ones. Somebody else sent me the white ones. She sent me the ones that are colored. And are they scented? I don't, hold on. Let me smell this one to see. They are kind of scented. I don't know if that's intentional or if that's just in my mind, but here's the thing about these colored Pritt sticks. Well, first of all, let's talk about the plain clear Pritt stick. These are the stickiest darn glue sticks I've ever experienced. All right, all of you folks living over in the UK, across the pond, non-US people, what gives? These things are so super ridiculous sticky. They are like, yeah, I don't know how to describe it. And again, maybe it's how they interact with the weather here and the temperature here, but I love a good Pritt stick, but they are super sticky, and I have yet to figure out how to get them to not be and feel so sticky. they just are. So anyway, I love them. I like me a good Pritt stick. I have like 2 of the white ones remaining in my stash. And then I have Ellen sent me a bunch of the colored ones. Now, Ellen, don't be offended when I say this. I'm very grateful that you sent them to me. You should have warned me, dear heart, that the color, that they don't dry clear. Purple stays purple, orange stays orange, blue stays blue. I have a green one, green stays green. They do not dry clear. This is an important thing that I think should be written on this thing. And maybe it is, and I just can't read the language. But they got the word blue on there pretty, pretty easily seen. So I'm just going to name that. If you run out and grab you some colored Pritt sticks, they stay when they dry. You know how the purple Yoo-Hoo brand, you put it on, it's purple, you can see where it goes, and it dries clear. This purple stays purple. Okay, I just want to name that in case you run out and get some. You're like, Kyla, you didn't tell me that. Orange stays orange, blue stays blue, green stays green, purple stays purple. They don't dry clear. I think that's important to know. This little glue stick is also an interesting one. It's a glue pen. Really good for fine detail. Got to have at least one fine detail adhesive. However, this is not a dry fast, quick grab, extra strength anything. It's just basic old gel glue. So I don't use it that often, but I have it. This glue is also an interesting, it's a glue, another glue pen, but it has this huge fat, right? So it's for gluing things. And I have, this is my second one. I haven't activated it, but it does, it's a really interesting one. You press it down kind of like a paint pen till the glue starts to run out, and then you use it just like you would any other, like kind of like a glue stick, but in the form of a pen. So that's an interesting, that's by Zig. That's by Zig, two-way glue. And I find it, it's pretty good for like when you want to stick things in your journal. I wouldn't do a big project with it, but like if I'm just working on a journal spread and I'm, you know, gluing down some papers or whatever, it's pretty good for that. A couple other pen style glue things that I have that might be interesting. This Heidi Swap one, which is probably still readily available out there in the world. Again, it's like a pen. You press it down, the glue comes down. All right. Oh, wait. Is that the... No, that's not. That's the white pen one. Oh, wait. Hold on. There's a white pen and there's a glue. No, that's the glue. All right. So that's a Heidi Swap glue pen. You can probably find that at your local Michael's, Joann's, wherever her stuff is sold. I can't remember. These I've had for a really long time. Not sure they still make them, but they're called planner glue pens. I have two of them. And I don't know where I got them. I'm going to be honest. Prima Marketing. Ooh, so wherever they sell Prima products, probably. Planner glue pen. But I've had these for, I want to say I've had these since we lived in Atlanta. So that would have been 2016, 17, 18, somewhere around there. So that long ago. And then this Tombow glue pen that has the tiniest, I mean, it looks like a rollerball pen, but it's actually glue. It's a glue pen. See that right there? Glue pen. Come on. Try to focus. There you go. Glue pen. Tombow. So it's an interesting one. Oh, there it is. Haha. Linda says Tombow has a really nice glue pen. I wonder if you're talking about this one, Linda. I don't know. Maybe there's another they have besides this one that I just showed. That is possible. Stephanie says, good note on the pit glue sticks. I would have assumed it dried clear. Yeah, same. But it does not. All right, last but not least, let's see what else we got going here with glue. I think we're almost done. Just going to double check my little glue container here, see if I have any other. The last one I think is nori. Oh no, sorry, I left the Yes paste out. Oh, Yes paste. I want to love you. I don't really though. I try to love Yes paste. I promise I did try to love it. Linda. Oh, you put yes to my question, not yes to Yes paste. So those of you who are here right now who use Yes paste, talk to me about it. Tell me more. Tell me about why you use it. I was introduced to Yes paste through the bookbinding community because it's acid-free, it's archival, supposedly, and it even says it on here, won't wrinkle light or delicate material. So people often use it for, and this is when I was introduced to it in a class I was taking where we were using rice paper mostly for our projects. And again, I'm an overgluer, so I probably was just doing it wrong, but it ripped and wrinkled everything. And I was just like, okay, we can't be friends if this is how you're going to behave. It's a really thick paste. People there were watering it down a little bit, making it a little soupier, a little less thick. But yeah, I own it. I have it. I don't use it, if I'm being 100% honest. But Yes paste is an option out there. I would tell you to test it on pieces and things before you commit it to a project that you care about. Okay, you heard it here. Don't say I didn't warn you. Also, just to be fair, it could be user error. It could totally be me. But I'm not a fan of the yes paste. We haven't made friends. Nori paste, on the other hand, behaves the way I think people say yes paste behaves. Works really great with rice papers and delicate handmade papers. I love nori for that. All right. Um, so yeah, it dries clear, but it's a slow drying glue. So you need to put it under weight if you're using it for a project. Um, Also, this can be pricey depending on where you're buying it from. Now, this little bitty one that I have here, I actually got from the Daiso in Texas, Dallas. I think when I was in Dallas, we went to Daiso and I got it from there. But it definitely came from a Daiso. It may have been the Daiso in Seattle. I don't remember in this moment, but when I've seen it priced in regular like art stores, it's kind of pricey. So this one was like a $3 jar, but it was again at the Daiso, which is like the $1.50 Japanese store. So yeah. Okay, that's all I have for glue, I think. I'm looking around. Any glues I missed? Any glues that you all have that I need to know about? Please do share. I'm happy to hear. All right, I didn't realize I had that many adhesives, that many glues. So, and I mean, I'm kind of being cheeky, not showing the super glue. I mean, yeah, I have super glue too. I use it from time to time when there's things that I'm like, you will stay down, you will stay stuck. I use super glue for things like that. But for the most part, I'm a glue stick, Fabri-Tac, Fabri-Fix kind of girl, unless I'm doing like a project that is, like I said, something that I'm gonna sell for a very high ticket price, or it's a project that I'm gonna be submitting to something somewhere, or I'm selling it to someone and I want it to have longevity for them. Otherwise, in those cases, I will use like a PVA or a wheat paste or something like that. So, okay, that's what I got for glue. All right, let's see how much time. Oh, I have a tiny bit of time. So why don't we talk jelly plates? Dun, dun, dun. Stephanie says, I'm not allowed to use super glue because things get stuck to my finger. Or my fingers get stuck together. Oh, I've been there too, Stephanie. I totally have been there. And I even have been like, I'm going to use glue. I'm going to use gloves because I know I always get, and then the gloves get stuck together. So it doesn't matter. I'm looking around my room and I'm realizing I did not talk about glue guns, but hot glue guns are a thing. So that's another form of glue. I don't use hot glue guns for my bookbinding projects because I don't know. I don't trust it. I don't trust hot glue to stay, for things to stay stuck, for a long time. I just, no shade against glue guns. I just don't. But I will show you a neat little thing that I have. Maybe. I think it's in here. Yep. So, a standard glue gun. Everybody knows a glue gun. You don't need me to show you the glue gun, the standard glue gun. This, however, is a glue gun pen. And if you've never seen this, some of you who came to G.R.I.T.S tour, which G.R.I.T.S tour was that? Or have taken Soulfully Raw and Quirky with me, you probably saw me show this. This is, you use it like a pen. Same here. That's just, I'm not gonna like that, but like the glue goes in, glue stick goes in the back like always for glue guns. You plug it up, it gets hot, glue oozes out of this top. You use this little thing to administer the glue, and you write with it. So you can do fine detail things with it, and you have a little more control because it kind of functions like a pen, you know? So it's like, shoo, really great if you're making hot glue stencils, masks, things like that. So hot glue pen. Hot glue pen. And I just got that right off Amazon. So just go to Amazon, Google hot glue pen, or search for hot glue pen. I saw someone mention Gorilla, and I'm like, all right. I don't think I have it. I have some Gorilla wood glue, but I don't even have it in here in my studio. It's for things outside in that other part of my house that is not the studio. But this glue stick by Gorilla, I actually haven't tried it yet. Not sure. That's not true. Let me back up. I did try it, someone else's glue stick. It was not mine, but I tried it at a workshop that I went to in Orlando area. And I was like, ooh, I like this. So I bought this, but I haven't actually opened it and used it yet. So Suzanne said, is this an enabler vlog? Maybe. I probably should have given a warning at the beginning. I will be showing lots of things. But again, I'm going to remind you all, I'm a teaching artist. I have all of these things because I use them with my students in my classes, yada, yada, yada. And also, I like having all the things. That part too, I'm being honest. And some of you out there can relate if you're honest too. You just like having all the things. But honestly, a lot of the things I have are for teaching, demoing. And then some of them I use in my regular everyday. But when I look at the amount of things I have versus the things I actually use all the time, yeah, there's a huge gap there. Let's just be honest. Great, Suzanne, you're in the camp with me. Love having all the things. Awesome. Okay, let's talk jelly plate prints for our last 15 minutes here. Again, teaching artists here. So I have all the plates, all the sizes, all the things. I have this little thing that hangs on my wire bookcase over here that keeps my little shape jelly plates in it. I don't know if I'm thinking they probably still sell all these shapes. They probably have more than the ones that I have here, but I've had these since the dawn of time, since they did these. So these are just the smaller shapes. Hex 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What's that called? Damon, you're on deck. What's it called when it's 6? It's not a hex. The hex is 5, right? There's a circle. No, 5 is penta, 6 is hex, right? Help me out, somebody. 5 is the pentagon. Here's a square, rectangle, oval, and triangle. So I do have all of those that I just keep them. They're easy to keep out and accessible because I have them in this little cup thing that just hangs right on my thing. I recently, 7 is hept, 6 is hex. Okay, thank you. Roseanne says, I have a Lamy Blackberry in my sights. I love it. Yay. This is my most recent jelly plate, like within the last 3 months. I got this one because it was just like half off at Hobby Lobby or something, and they had 2 left, and I was like, I'm getting it. Tiffany was with me. She was like, I guess I'm getting one too. So we both bought one, a little 3x5. I was like, I don't have that one. But I have all the other sizes, friends, and I am not brand specific. I have some by Gel Press, I have some by Gelli Arts, and I think I even have a speedball one in this set as well. But I do have all the different sizes. I want to say this one is a 5 by something or other. Nope, that's a 6x6 square. 6x6 square. Move this inside. So 6x6 square, 3x5 rectangle. This one is the 5x7. Why do I need all the sizes? I don't know. Somebody else may be able to answer that. I cannot. 5x7. It's another 6x6. I have a bunch of the 6x6s because, again, teaching artists. I bought a whole set of them, a classroom set, to be able to use at retreats and things that I do. So I have a bunch of the square 6x6. I have the round one that I adore. I adore this round one. I have a couple of these. What size is this? Maybe this is a 9x12 or an 8x11, something or other. And don't judge it. I don't clean them all the time. Sometimes I'm good and I do clean them. Most of the time I don't. And then in true fashion, you have to have a friend in your life who goes to Hobby Lobby and who calls you excited and says, "Hey friend, Hobby Lobby has their gel plates regularly $45 for $13. Do you want one?" Or they say, "I got you one," which is the case with my dear friend Tiffany. She was like, "Kyla, I'm in Hobby Lobby and they have their 13, what is this size? 12x12 for $13.99. I was like, "Girl, yes." She's already got you one. It's like, "Thank you." So I do have this 12x12 one that's really nice. And then the 12x14, which is the big mama jama. The big mama jama. So if you don't know jelly plates, we don't have a lot of time, but we have time to do one pull. And what I want to say about jelly plates, I am from maybe the last era of artists who learned how to make their own gelatin print plates. Again, MFA program, I was graded on making a gelatin plate. And we just made it with Knox gelatin. And because it's a food product, they do start to break down and disintegrate. So it was nice to have, hang on, I'm going to find some. It was nice to have, I'm just going to put this on this palette paper because that's easy. So it was nice when these silicone versions came out, right? Where you don't have to worry about them breaking down in your refrigerator and turning to mush and molding and all the things. But I will say, if you've never made your own gelatin plate, you can probably Google it. Thousands of people probably showing you how to do it on Instagram, on YouTube. YouTube wasn't a hot commodity back when I learned how to make this. I mean, it was a thing, but it wasn't like it is now. And so, man, I made a lot of mistakes. I messed up a lot of boxes of gelatin as well. But what I will say is they are different. It feels different. You do get different results. The silicone is great for longevity and all the things, but if you really want to feel what gelatin printing looks like and really feels like and can do, make yourself a homemade gelatin plate that you can print from and just try it. Thank me later. It's different. I'm not saying it's better, but it is different. Okay. Before we do this, I'm just going to take some packing tape here and see if I can't get some of that off. Those of you that are here live, hi again. Let me know. Do you do jelly plate printing? Love it? Hate it? Don't like the silicone? Only use the real deal? Tell me about it. So of course y'all know I'm going to keep this piece of tape, right? Of course I am. So sometimes you can pull up the old residue. And I also could have left all of that on the plate and pulled it up in a print. I thought I might just, I'm not the best with my jelly plates. I'm going to go ahead and be honest. I don't do a good job of keeping them clean, keeping them tidy, all the things. I'm also not going to spend a lot of time on that today. You made it years ago and it hasn't broken down? Guadalupe, hello. I need to know more. Like, what do you use? Do you have some special gelatin you're using? I've never seen someone say they've had one for years, even in the refrigerator. Like, that feels, I feel like I need to know more. I need to know your secret. Okay, so gelatin plate printing in a nutshell is a printmaking technique designed for you. It falls under the branch of monoprinting. It's designed for you to get a print that you're only going to get one time. That's the whole point of it. It's not meant to be something that you're going to get the exact same result from every single time. And the reason it's going to be different is because the amount of pressure you apply makes a difference. The paints you use and how much paint is on the palette makes a difference. There's a lot of factors that can change. Now, there are some things you can control when you're monoprinting, specifically jelly plate printing, but it requires a lot of work, patience, and attention to get something that looks similar over and over again. It really is. It's meant to be the kind of thing you do and you don't get the same result over and over. That's the beauty of it, right? So I always find it interesting when I see artists out there trying to make themselves get the same result or trying to manipulate the plate in a way that they're going to always get the same thing time after time. I find that interesting because this tool is designed for serendipity. It's designed for things to be different each time. That's the whole beauty of it. I am in the camp of I love my second prints usually more than I love my first print. So another reason that I am here on YouTube every day for this month is because I'm also looking at talking about my 100-day project, which is all about completing unfinished projects. And so I think I mentioned to you all that one of my unfinished projects is these book boards that I bought, board books that I bought. I know someone right now is cringing. They're like, oh my God, Kyla, stop with the tape and the paint and just go on with it. Get on with it. I'm looking at time. That person is probably my husband. It's like, you said 90 minutes. But what was I saying? Oh, board books and taking my jelly plates, prints, and making little collage books out of it. So I'll come back and share that maybe. I don't know when again the jelly plate will come up. Maybe it'll come up in the printmaking conversation on letter P day. But for now, I'm just going to do a quick pull. I have a bunch of paints that I'm trying to use up and get rid of. So I'm going to pull from that stash. I'm also not going to concern myself with color. I'm going to keep it real simple. I have some paper here that I'm going to put off to the side to roll off on as I'm going. I'm going to work with a hard brayer, like a hard brayer instead of a soft brayer. I've got some Liquitex heavy body paints here that I'm going to play with. I want to use these up because I don't really use them. And I have this tissue paper. I'm almost nervous to use it because it's so delicate, but that's what I'm going to use. So the whole thing about a gelatin plate is, again, you have to play to find your sweet spot. You have to play to know how much paint you need versus how heavy your hand needs to go on the print on the brayer. So I'm going to do a little bit of Payne's gray and a little bit of yellow. And the reason I like to put mine on something like this that's movable is so that I can do things like turn it without having to, you know. So I'm just going to get that on here. I am lifting, rolling and lifting, because I'm not trying to, it's not like lotion. You don't want to like rub it in. You just want to get it there. And then I'm going to roll that yellow off my brayer. And then I'm going to come in and get this blue going, this Payne's gray. And this is a very thin coat, I can already tell, just from how it's coming out. The beauty of a gelatin plate is that you can also have textured things that you use to make designs. I'm just going to press some bubble wrap into that. It's my absolute favorite thing to use. And I think I shared with you all the other day that when I do jelly plate printing, it's usually a whole production. I have Damon bring out the long table. I've got all the paints. I'm doing 1,001 things at once. I'm going to put that paper down on that. Even in all its wrinkles, I'm not going to worry about it wrinkling. I'm going to do a little baby massage is what I call it. Just do a little baby massage on there. And then I'm going to slowly and gently pull that up and see what I get. And that, my friends, is what a jelly plate does, if you are not aware. I imagine many of you are, though, just to say. Angelise says, I have a jelly plate and have never used it. Angelisa, what? What? Suzanne says, I love to play with my jelly plate. I have to do a whole bunch at a time, so I don't do it very often. Same, Suzanne. That's the thing. Like, I feel like that's the thing about it. It's not, and I know people who just have theirs out and use it every day, and that's their thing. Not so much for me. I'm more of a, this is going to be a crazy way to say it, y'all, but this is true and real. I'm more of a print on demand kind of girl. Like, oh, I want to do some jelly plate printing. Let me go ahead and get it all out, get it all set up. Let's go, let's print for some days here, right? So get a little bit, that's red oxide, one of my faves. I'm going to mix that with a little bit of bronze yellow. I'm going to do a few more of these. Ooh, that's a lot of paint. I already know that's too much. But we're going to go with it. And also my runoff paper, right? You can see I took that bubble wrap and printed on here. So even my runoff paper becomes a part of the art making on my jelly plate printing day. This has me wanting to make jelly plates, have a printing day. All right. Sometimes I like to try to get a line that isn't, ooh, that red oxide is my baby. I love it. Okay, so I use bubble wrap, but you can also use all sorts of other things. One of my other favorite things to use is just string. So I keep a little baggie with a bunch of string in it. This is leftover bookbinding thread that ended up, you know, where you cut off the ends when you're done. So in true mixed media artist fashion, I don't throw them away. I just put them in a baggie for something else. And this is my something else. This is one of my absolute favorite techniques. I'm going to bring the paper Lay that down and do again a nice little baby massage. Now, when you have texture on the plate like I do, you kind of want to make sure you kind of get really close. Ooh, ooh, this paper's so delicate. I just rubbed it right off. I'm going to pull that up. Look at that. I love that. So yummy. Deliciousness. All right, then I'm going to take all these little strings up. The pro tip, make sure there's always at least one piece hanging off each string so that you have something to pull up. You're not trying to dig your fingernail in and get it up. So I'm going to print what we call the ghost print, which is the second print. And then I'm going to stop there. You can use stencils. You can use a skewer and write in it, all the things. The ghost print didn't give me a lot, so I feel gypped. So I'm actually going to do that thing we do where we bring in if I can find it. Oh, that one's too wet. Well, matte medium. This is probably too wet. I need to use gel medium, but I'm being lazy. I don't want to look for things. Oh, instead, how about I put some, let's just do some silver on top of that. I could come over with some gel medium, because gel medium is basically the same stuff they use in paint. It's just clear. Right? So you could use that. I'm going to pick that, see if I can't pick that up. I just put some silver, a really light coat of silver. And I'm going to try to pull that up again. And these are, y'all know what this is? This is literally tissue paper that was packing paper inside of a pair of shoes I bought a while ago. I'm going to use the ball of my hand to do a little extra pressing. Just to really try to pick that up. I got a little more, but still not what I wanted. So, but it's nice. I'll do something with that. All right, so I'm going to let that be. I'm going to do one more. I keep saying let that be, and then I'm like, one more. Okay, Damon, I know. I already know what you're thinking. I'm coming. I promise. This is my last one. Last one. I'm going to put these little strings back in my bag. I have a little container over here that I keep that has all sorts of stuff. It's got little texture plates in it. It has stencils. It's got all sorts of things that I use for printmaking. So we'll do one more. The thing about a jelly plate is you really just want to play. Like, spend time playing. That's why I don't do it that often, because I could literally sit here for hours playing, trying different combinations, different paint combinations, different tools. This is an old washi tape roll, and I'm just using it to press into the plate. And then we'll do one more pull, and we really will call that done for the day. Now the red comes up, and that's the beautiful thing too about the jelly plate print, is like you can have something on there that's been there for layers and layers back, and a certain paint will pull it up. And I love it. I didn't anticipate it, but I love it. And that's the serendipity of it. And that's why it's called mono printing, because I will never get this exact print again. I can go scan this in once it dries and do all sorts of things, but I don't care what I do. I'll never put those circles down in the exact same spot again. I'll never be able to recreate how this red came up. It just will never happen, right? So that's the beauty of gelatin plate printing. All right, friends, this has got me excited. I don't have time to be jelly plate printing this week, but the reminder of just how easy it can be. Put it on my palette paper, put it down, get a few colors of paint out, and get these things printed. So my goal is to print, I have a stack of these. I just took that paper and I cut it down to size. So I've got a whole stack of these. And I think I might, not today, I don't know when, but when the next time I sit down to do some jelly plate printing. And see, this is what's happening. I'm noticing that you all are basically, I say you all because I need somebody to blame. Coming here, chatting with y'all, showing you things is also igniting my love for certain things. So maybe I am going to give myself permission to spend a few hours, maybe sometime tomorrow or the day after, or sometime this week, just finishing this up, because now this feels like another incomplete project that I need to complete. So, all right, friends, thank you for being here. Do you have any questions for me as I'm not going to clean this plate, so don't let me pretend like I am. But look at what we got in just that short amount of time that now becomes papers for collage. I call them snippets of serendipity. All right, it's going to be fun. And my plan that I was sharing with you all is to take these little books, and I learned this idea from Drew Steinbrecher, and start to tear them and layer them into collage inside of these little board books. And then I'll end up having a nice little, I'll do some collage bits and all sorts of things. But then the book is already bound and done. I don't have to do anything to it. It then becomes its own little book art. So I'm excited to make more. Not that I need more. I have a whole 2 containers full of jelly plate prints. But now that I have this little size, I could also take these, fold them, and start making a little journal, right? They're very thin and delicate, so I would have to probably back them on something, but I could also do that. So if you have a jelly plate, I invite you to pull it out and play if you have the time and space for it. All right, friends, it's been wonderful. Thank you for hanging out with me. I didn't go too far over. I went a little over, but I'm feeling good about it. So yay, Suzanne, pull it out and get you a square glue stick. I love it. All right, friends. Angelisa says you're going to have me going through all my shoe boxes to pull out paper. You're welcome. I'm just going to say you're welcome. All right, friends. Much love to all of you. Have a beautiful Sunday. I hope you end the day with something beautiful and amazing for yourself. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow if you can make it back. I don't have my times up for the week yet, but I think tomorrow will probably be later in the day. I have to run an errand in the morning for my mama. And then once that's done, I'll be back at the desk, and I might jump on sometime in the later afternoon. So I hope to see some of you. If I don't, I'll see you next time. Okay? Much love.